Hello and welcome to the Get to Know broadcast. And my name is Tamara L. And yes, you are probably looking for Stephen R. Smith. And he has asked me to be his guest host this Friday, today, for a very special episode. And I want to say thank you to Stephen for trusting myself and our guests to cover something that is very deep and very close to my heart. And that is we are going to be discussing and getting to know those that are in a docuseries that is highlighting Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so with that, what we want to do right now is we want to hear from Stephen, and then you're going to meet our guests.
I want to thank you all for taking time to come and join us on Beyond the Battle. This is going to be a fantastic show. I'm not able to make it this evening, and I really appreciate the fact that Tamara Hunter has taken a moment to be able to be the host of the show tonight. We also have LaWanna Bradford, and she is talking about this docuseries that she is now airing on E360 TV channel. I'm very excited. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and so they're going to be talking about this docuseries. We have several guests that are going to be on. I'm so pleased that Tamara is going to do the show for us, and LaWanna is going to kind of co-host, and they're going to walk you through behind the scenes. It's going to be very interesting. I just want to thank the viewers. I want to thank Tamara and LaWanna and all the rest of the guests. Thank you so very much. You're so very kind. We love you. I will be back on Monday, and we will see you then.
So I want to welcome these beautiful women to the LWN. So the LWN Foundation is actually Stephen R. Smith's foundation, and they are the sponsor of the Get to Know broadcast. So we want to welcome all of these beautiful women in behalf of the LWN Foundation. So with that, we're going to go around the room and we're going to meet these women, and they're going to tell us where they are. And I'm going to start with LaWanna, and then from there, we're going to add an additional element with the other women. So LaWanna, I'm so excited that you're joining us today, and let's do this. All right, let's get you over into this area here. And where are you today?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining the show. I am LaWanna Bradford, and I'm coming at you from Atlanta, Georgia.
Wonderful. Okay, now, Dr. Linda, we are going to add an additional element to your question. Who are you? Where are you? And how many years are you cancer-free, breast cancer-free?
Great. Well, good evening. My name is Dr. Linda Jordan, and I'm coming to you from a small town in North Carolina, Butner, North Carolina. And I am 10 years breast cancer free.
I love it. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now, we are going to say they are survivors, warriors. They are thrivers, conquerors. Many know the terminology. I'm going to call them also buddies. Okay, so let's go on and let's see here. It's fun being a guest host to someone else's digital studio. Woobie, where are you today?
Hello, everybody. I go by Woobie. I'm also known as Lyn-Dee Eldridge. I am in South Carolina, and today is the anniversary of my 8 years being breast cancer free.
Congratulations. What are the odds? Oh my goodness, you just got me on that one. What are the odds that it would be today? Did you spring that on us on purpose? Oh my goodness.
No, thank you. But thank you. I'm going to celebrate it with all of you. Thank you.
Yes, we are thrilled to be celebrating with you too. Dr. Michelle.
Yes, good day. I am Dr. Michelle D. Clark. I'm the CEO and founder of Lift After Breast Cancer. And I am tuning in from Detroit, Michigan. And I heard those words, you have breast cancer. So I've been a survivor for 10 years and I've been cancer free, or I say no evidence of disease since for 9 years.
Congratulations. It's wonderful. And Ferlie, let's bring you in here. Okay, so Ferlie, let's hear from you as I'm working to get the technology going.
Well, I don't see my face yet.
You know what? Give me a moment here. I don't know what is going on. And
You want me to be you, Ferlie, for a minute here?
Ferlie, go ahead. And we will get this going. I don't know what is going on here.
Okay. So my name is Ferlie Almonte, and I'm coming to you live from the Garden State. That's New Jersey. And I've been a cancer victor for almost 3 years now. And I am very, very grateful for that.
I love it. I love it. And I'm going to put myself in the middle here too, because I am one of the 7 that were featured in the docuseries. And my name is Tamara L. Hunter. I am in the Ozarks, the middle of the United States, what we like to call the heartland. And I am an 11-year thriver, survivor buddy is what I like to call myself. And I'm thrilled to be a part of this. So LaWanna, we're going to bring you over and we're going to talk about this because we are here to honor the fact that you decided to go ahead and create a docuseries. And I want to go into that and a couple of things. And we're going to bring the women in that you chose to be a part of this because you have a message, don't you? You have a mission. You had this in your heart to make a difference. You and I spoke about that, and you had tears in my eyes. I'd like for you to share that with everyone. Why is it that you did this? You're muted.
I am unmuted. Thank you for that. This is actually a passion of my heart. People who know me and those who are meeting me for the very first time don't know that I'm also in a cancer journey. It's not breast cancer, and unfortunately, mine doesn't have a cure. You get those words, you have cancer, and then the next thing they're talking about is life expectancy. But I'm a person of faith, and I just believe that man's medicine will never, ever, ever catch up with God's miracle. And the reason why I'm such an advocate for breast cancer awareness is I was looking around me, and in the last 10 years, I realized that the 7 women who I selected, who I consider friends, all went through this journey. And I thought, who knows 7 people? I mean, like I could just rattle them off. It wasn't I had to think about it. And I thought this message needs to come out because I don't think that people realize how many individuals in their circle are battling with this. You look to your left and you look to your right, one of the 3 have either had a scare or actually have that diagnosis. And for me, I remember when I had my first mammogram, I was, I think, 32. And the only reason why I went, Tamara, was because the mammogram mobile came on campus where I work. And I thought, hey, why don't I go find out about this, even though I know it's not my time to do one. And they did the mammogram, and I got a call the next day that said, you got to come in. We found something. I'm like, what? Excuse me, time out. And so I went in, and then within 7 days, I was in surgery. And so for me, the blessing was it came back benign, but it was pretty scary to go from just a random, I'm curious, to 7 days later, I'm having a breast biopsy. Right. So I can relate up to a point of the journey that individuals have when you get that negative report, and then wondering what's next. Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned, because these women really have touched my heart in many, many ways, it's an honor to bring their stories to life, but with a twist. we talk about the pain of the journey, but I want to celebrate the beautiful, vibrant lives that these women are living, because they are not the diagnosis, right? They're living beautiful lights. And I believe that they will be a message of hope and of courage that will allow women to press on when they feel like giving up.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And what I would like to do right now is the question I would like to explore a little deeper is because you and I spoke about, and then we're going to go into it with those that you have chosen to be a part of this. You mentioned that 7, that number 7. Now that's a lucky number in many circles, right? And I love the attitude that you're taking, the positive approach, because there really is so much hope. Yet we need to bring the awareness, right? We need to bring that to the forefront. And that's why I'm so thrilled. And when you asked me to be a part of this, I was like, absolutely. I trust you 100%. Let's just do this. Show me when, tell me when, where, let's just go. And you've gone after it on multiple layers. And one of the things that you spoke about to me last night was the I am statements. Let's dive a little bit more into that. And then I'm going to go to each one of these beautiful, our wonderful story, the women that I'm getting to know that were a part of this docu-series, and hear what it is that they have experienced, the behind the scenes for them. So I want you guys to be thinking about this right now. When LaWanna contacted you, and I just shared my initial thoughts, I want to hear, what were your initial thoughts about joining the docuseries? But let's go in a little bit more about I am. What's so important about I am?
Well, as I said, I'm a woman of faith. I'm a Christian, and I just believe that when people were asking God, Moses said, God, who should I say you are? And he said, I am that I am. And that embodies the being, the presence, the essence, the now, the power that we have moment to moment. So when I asked the women to introduce themselves, I wanted them to say, I am, and then their name, rather than my name is. It's like, I am just, it resonates with power. And I believe everything is energy. And just when you speak that, I believe it ripples throughout the airwaves, and it's touching people at a spiritual and emotional level. So that's my belief of the I am statement.
I love it. And right now I am going to go to also our digital audience, because you know what? You are so important to and yes, you are in the right place right now. And we have been gifted this opportunity to share with all of you by Stephen R. Smith. You are at the Get to Know broadcast right now. So we want to say hello to Robert. So glad that you're here with us today. And Patty Mays, oh my goodness, we are so thrilled you're here with us. And this group also, like the buddies, oftentimes you'll see on any of the shows that we do, they're talking to each other, and I love it that they do that here. And so let's see here. 7 attitudes. I'm loving life lights for sure. So awareness to the forefront is key. So absolutely true. So thank you so much for everybody that is joining us. Also, be aware that we are right now on the E360 TV network, and we are going to be saying this throughout this episode. You will be able to watch the next episode of the docuseries we're talking about this coming Monday exclusively. And write this down. We're going to be having you write this down. E360TV.com. E360TV.com. Go to the live area, and you will see LaWanna's face right there. And it's going to say live. You're in the right place. So with that, Ferlie,
Yes.
you were invited to get involved with this.
Yes.
And look at that energy of you. I mean, my goodness, that energy is just like, you are just like so Ferlie-licious, isn't it? Right? And then,
Oh, I love that. You know,
right?
religious stands for something. Heart-centered, soul-inspired, purpose-driven.
Write that down, everyone. Okay, I love that. Okay, so when you got the call, what was your initial response?
First of all, I was very thrilled because I have a lot of respect and love for LaWanna. And honestly, I love to always surround myself with people who have the same energy, passion, conviction, and also purpose in life. And to be invited to be a part of something so spectacular and so meaningful and so life transforming, and getting to know all the other ladies as part of this docu-series is really a privilege. And so I jumped on it. I did not hesitate without blinking an eye, and I said, let's do it.
I love it. Okay. Okay. You know, it even sounds like a motto. Let's do it. Okay, Dr. Michelle, what about you?
Yes, thanks, Tamara, for this phenomenal question. And when LaWanna reached out to me, I mean, first of all, who's going to tell her no, right? She is absolutely phenomenal. I hold her in high esteem as well. So I have a really high regard for her, as well as the respect and, of course, the fondness. She's an amazing person. So when she told me about the docuseries, it was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm a Christian as well. So when she told me about how God put it on her heart to do this docuseries and who she saw to pick, who was placed on her heart to pick. My late great pastor used to always say, what speaks from the heart speaks to the heart. So my heart was moved when she requested me, and we had a long conversation. And for her to be able to share that vision with me, it was just phenomenal. There was no way that I would say no. Being a breast cancer survivor myself, being the CEO of Lift After Breast Cancer, and knowing that our voice, the yes, I am, is the highest affirmation we can use. And our voices are what helps someone. The things that we've been through, being able to share our stories could be someone else's survival guide. And so I'm super excited to be able to be a part of this phenomenal project that is emphasizing the beauty that we have after breast cancer.
I love it. Okay, so also you're involved in this in multiple different ways. One way is through your business, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to play something right now, and so everybody can learn a little bit more about Dr. Michelle.
You are a high performer, leader, survivor, and somehow the mirror still feels like a test. You can run a meeting, but getting dressed can break you. Clothes don't fit the way they used to, scars, numbness, tenderness, meds steal your sleep, energy, sometimes intimacy. You're praised for being strong, but you're tired of pretending you're back to before. That standard of beauty, it was never made for us. I'm Dr. Michelle D. Clark, founder of Lift After Breast Cancer. At Lift, we don't chase the old standard. We raise a new one. Trauma-informed coaching, community, and simple routines to redefine beauty and reclaim your voice and confidence. If you're ready to lead boldly in the boardroom and feel beautiful in your own skin, apply today via our Fit form. Go to bit.ly/explorefitform. That's bit.ly/explorefitform. Begin your next today.
You have me so motivated. I'm watching that clip, and you know, thank you for going out there. And I really, LaWanna and I were talking about this, and the next round we're going to go into this is you know, how it is that our lives are affecting others, like those people that love and support us. So I do have a question in regards to your organization. Is it also, are you encouraging those that support the patients to get involved too? Because oftentimes those that are, you know, support people, they oftentimes are giving as much, if not more, physically, emotionally, mentally, as the patient is, correct?
Absolutely. I always say I don't know what I would do without my support team, without the people who are there for me. And even as a part of Lift After Breast Cancer, we have an annual brunch for survivors and supporters. Our brunch is in March. That's a whole nother story, Tamara, why we do ours in March and not October. But the short of the long, it was a devastating event that happened to me. And God put it on my heart to change that from devastation, transform it to celebration and radiate outwards. And so that's why it's our celebration, elevation, transformation brunch, where we have both survivors and supporters together celebrating each other. And so, yes, it's so, so important. Without those support systems, again, I don't know what I would do. They, like my mom, my sister, my daughter even, and my medical team, I had an oncology social worker. So being able to have all these entities and other supports as well. So being able to have those support systems meant the world to me. Being able to tap into community supports, it just had to happen. And what I found though, Tamara, the reason why I started Lift After Breast Cancer is because I didn't see certain aspects in the community where I was being served. I was diagnosed at the age of 39. So a lot of the support groups that I went to, I know, right? So a lot of support groups that I went to, people were already past the pinnacle of their career, have retired, empty nesters. I still was raising a family. I still was on the grind working. And so my mom always taught me that if you can't see something, then be that. And that's how Lift After Breast Cancer was birthed.
Yes. Okay. I have this. I'm giving you a big hand here because you know what? Number one, guys, there's hope. Did you hear the age? There's hope. That is what we want people to hear. There's hope. LaWanna, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so we are next I am now calling upon, yes, I am saving Woobie for last for a reason. Okay, Dr. Linda, I'd love to know when you got the call from LaWanna. What was your initial thought?
My initial thought was absolutely. LaWanna and I have had several conversations, and she's a fabulous person. The first time I met her, we just connected. I'm not sure what it was, but we connected, and she's just a gentle, kind-hearted person that I appreciate. And I too am a Christian individual. And so she asked, and I said yes. And anytime she needs me, she knows that I will be there to support her. And so, being a survivor of the two health in my community, it's important that we share our story and our message, because when we share our story, we never know who else is listening. And it may just be that one person that needs to hear our message. And that's why I wanted to make sure that I, definitely would be a part of this, because my story may be different from everyone else's. And so if that connects with one person, then I've made a difference in that person's life.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Woobie. Okay, so when you got the call, what was your initial response?
Yes.
My pleasure.
What a surprise.
I don't say no to LaWanna. I don't say no to her partner, Barbara, and I never say no to you.
I know that.
Yes, yes. Without a doubt.
Well, okay, so I saved you for a reason, and I'm gonna take a moment right now, and guys, celebrate with me.
Woobie, we're so glad you're here.
Woobie, today we raise our voice and cheer.
For the laughter you bring, the hope you steer.
From trials you've danced,
With courage and might,
a beacon of strength.
shining bright tonight. Happy birthday, Woobie, your heart leads the way. Beauty and strength walk with you every day.
Celebrate your story, embrace the new year.
Happy birthday. And then it was a double dip when you said, today, because a lot of times, people celebrate that birthday too. So that anniversary. So, what is everybody? We're going to kind of open this up because I shared that we were going to make this like a round table. So, what, first of all, happy birthday, Woobie.
Thank you. I feel like a child. Thank you. Love you, ladies.
So, what I'd love to do right now is, LaWanna, I'd love for you to expand a little bit more, because we were talking about, and we already went a little bit into it with Dr. Michelle, but we were talking about the how important it is for us to be looking at the support people. And also that goes in also to education. And that's another part of all of this, right? Is that we need to be real about this. There's so much hope. There's so much to celebrate. There's so much joy. You actually told me, oh, there's a live radio show going on right now. Jump on. And I did. And I was like, oh my goodness, it was so positive. The things that were being said, there's so much good information out there. Yet, I'm going to let you lead a little bit right now and go into asking, if you want, diving a little deeper into the support and also the education piece that we were discussing.
Sure. Well, with the docuseries, and is it okay if I say the name of the docuseries?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, my monitor went out. That was part of my problems with the technology. I had the docuseries image that we were going to be bringing up. But yes, please bring up the name of the docuseries. Yes. And in fact, you want to tell the story of the name because you actually changed the name, right?
Yeah, it's called Beyond the Battle, where beauty meets strength. And this actually came from a conversation I had with Dr. Michelle, and just knowing having interviewed her before about Lyft. And again, we hear parts of the story, but then the emotional side of it, when it comes to how our body has changed, right? It's one thing when we're in middle age and we're dealing with those changes, but it's another thing when those changes have happened because of medical reasons, and how you grow into that new, beautiful body that's you. So I wanted to have the tagline, when beauty meets strength, because everyone here, God said, we were beautifully and intricately created and woven in our mother's womb. No matter what we go through, that beauty doesn't go anywhere. God says, I will make beauty from ashes. And so these women have risen like the beautiful phoenix that they are. And no matter what happens, whether it's medically or just life, they still rise. And I wanted people to hear the strength in them. The stories are moving, but then the question that I want the audience to ask, whether you have cancer or not, how do I tap into that type of resiliency and that type of strength when life knocks on my door? How do I become inspired by these messages? And one of the things, we know stories sell, right? So I may not remember all the medical terminology, but I can remember Ferlie's story and I can share about that. Or I can remember Michelle's story, or the fact that Dr. Linda, somehow, I do not know how she was able to do this. And you guys have to watch the docuseries. But she talks about working on her doctorate during this time. So I hope I answered the question. I kind of went left, and I think you wanted me to go right.
This is a conversation. So, and it's not an interview, it's a conversation. And so, I love the fact that you're going left and right and any which way, because right now, what we want to do is we want to encourage people to go on Monday to e360tv.com, and we post the show actually starts at, and why don't you tell them what time it's live? Because you chose, and let's go a little bit deeper into this. You chose to premiere it exclusively on the network. And typically, the shows will go live on network and social media. You didn't do that. This is the very first time that I know of on any show or anything special event that on our network that this has ever been done. So tell us a little bit more about the choice of that, and then what time on Monday do people need to show up for the second episode?
Sure. So it's Monday, October 27th at 6 p.m. Eastern on e360tv.com. And the reason why I did an exclusive is it's a salute and a thank you for E360 allowing me to have a voice. How I came to E360 is I used to be on another platform, and I was told I was being too diverse in my audience and in my messaging, and I needed to play smaller and focus only on one side. And I thought, are you kidding me? So in meeting Aaron, who's the CEO, Aaron Hymes, who's the CEO of E360, I shared with him that story. And I asked him, could I have creative license? And I told him, in time, I didn't know when, I wanted to do some sort of a docuseries, something special. And I've never done a docuseries before. And so when I did this, I'm like, well, there's no better place to call it home, to give the exclusive premiere on E360. It will later go to YouTube, into social media. But for this point in time, I wanted to say thank you to E360 TV. And I want the world to turn and look at E360 TV because their global mission is to become the most diverse streaming platform in the world.
Yeah. And I concur with you. It's why I'm proud to be a part of this network, proud to be, and the mission. And so with that, I also wanted, because you are, if you will, co-hosting this, if you would like to ask the women, including me, I'm going to give you the reins right now. If you have a question in regards to, and we were talking about the education piece and getting out there with the message, not the message so much of the episode, but the message that there's so much we can be doing with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right, and everything. And then, so if you, okay, go ahead. You're up. You're up.
Batter up. All right. Well, we said this is a halftime show, so I guess,
I love
taking
that.
center stage. But in all seriousness, what I'd like each woman to share is I follow you and I follow the things that you're doing. And the world for a moment pauses in October, and we all, look at breast cancer and domestic violence, and we celebrate those who are going through it. We honor those who are no longer with us. But I would like each of you to just go around and tell the world what you are doing in your place of advocacy, because not only have you survived, right? This is life beyond the battle. You now wear two hats, the one of survivor, but also the one of advocate and ally. So if you wouldn't mind just sharing, what's happening right now? How are you getting the message out and telling people to really love and take care of their bodies?
I love it. Okay.
We'll start with Dr. Linda.
Okay. So Dr. Linda, you are up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
So for me, I started a nonprofit breast cancer angel network. And what I do is when I have the opportunity, I do speak to organizations and share my story around my diagnosis, research that I did, because my diagnosis was a little bit different. I was diagnosed with a gene mutation as opposed to the BRCA. So I share that message because more women of color are common to have this new gene mutation, which is called BARD1. And so I want women to really understand the importance of that. So I try to educate as much as possible. And I share my message wherever I go, because you never know, again, how you can touch someone's life and make a difference. And so I share that message wherever I go, whatever opportunities I have, whether it's in church, if I'm doing a business training, I'm doing it, or with family and friends, just meeting someone in the grocery store. I want to make sure that people that support the women who have breast cancer are also recognized, because when I went through breast cancer, my husband was my support system in addition to my family, but he's the person that helped take care of me. And so they go through a lot. So we need to make sure that we support them as much as possible. But from an advocacy perspective, that's what I do, and I will continue to do, is to make sure that I provide information who are recently diagnosed or currently going through breast cancer, because it is something that impacts your life so differently, and you never know what it really feels like until you've been through it. And so I want to make sure that I am that advocate for as many women as I possibly can be, and provide that support so that they feel like they're not alone by themselves.
Thank you. LaWanna, who would you like for me to put in next?
Ferlie Licious.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Okay. Actually, what a great question. Because oftentimes people say, Ferlie, you're all over the place. And I say, why not? My breast cancer journey actually had led me to my calling. I would say that, because every single effort that I put out there, whether it be speaking, writing a book, hosting a TV show, entertaining, inspiring people, every effort that I put out there is all about showing, exemplifying basically, and amplifying the message of hope and resilience, that there's life after cancer. And my life story and all the accomplishments that I have really been blessed with all happened after breast cancer. So it's not our end all. And so basically I made my message, and every single one of us here, basically, I believe, is part of a symphony. Every single one of us, our voices are all unique instruments that make a beautiful song of resilience and hope. And I said, I get involved in so many different fundraising projects for both breast cancer and domestic violence. There's one that I got involved with, ladies who rock for a cause. It's for women in crisis. So whatever it may be, whether it be cancer or domestic violence or whatever hardship you may go through, I am there, front and center. And I really take a lot of pride doing that.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, LaWanna, who's next?
Woobie. And Woobie, when you share, I'd like you to talk about your two books that deal both with breast cancer and domestic violence.
Thanks. I've been taking a lot of notes. You ladies are just you're delicious. You are absolutely a blessing in every single way. And I thank you. I thank you for allowing me into your inner circle. And LaWanna, you said something that is just so, I wrote it down. Man's medicine will never keep up with God's miracle.
Oh, wow.
Amen. Amen. Everybody give us an amen on that. I mean, that was extremely powerful. It brings me to realize that it's not what happens to us, it's what happens for us. And when I realized this going through not only the breast cancer, but domestic violence, not only domestic violence in a relationship with a spouse or significant other, but growing up in a very dark home, domestic violence in the worst ways, domestic violence, physical abuse, mental abuse. I am an author of a book called Tears of Fears, Behind Closed Doors. In 2009, my now former husband said to me, Woobie, I wasn't Woobie back then, I was Lyn-Dee. Lyn-Dee, you should write a book. And I said, and he was already an author. And I said, I should write a book. And I said, about what? And he goes, well, I don't know. And I said, I should write a book. And I said, well, how do you start? And he goes, think once upon a time. Okay. So I sat, and that's when it came to me. God said, now it's time to live your purpose. You went through all of that because you're going to help so many get through it, because you don't know chemically what's going on. You're not a college girl. You have life experience. I put you through your own challenges in your own college. You're thriving because you made the decisions to invest in yourself and go where you felt your teachers were, which were Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and Maya Angelou, Brian Tracy and Les Brown. And I invested in myself. That's my story. That's what's my once upon a time. I was badly beaten and abused as a little girl. Once upon a time, I grew up and I got out of it, only to go into the arms and the hands of a narcissist man who disguised himself as Prince Charming. Once upon a time, I learned it was okay to be okay, to be broken, but to work on myself. Once upon a time, I learned that it was okay to be a single mom. So Tears of Fears Behind Closed Doors is my book of what was that like growing up in it, but more so, what was it like thriving because of it? So it's not a woe is me. And I have other women that have shared their stories in that book, but it's to take you into the journey of everything is possible when you let go of being the victim and being the victor and being the warrior, and realizing the purpose was because there's more for you to shine, because God needs you for other reasons. So I found out real quick in life that I am no longer, I'm not the message, I'm just the messenger. I'm here to share my story, to share my light, but how do I do that? So I invested in myself on how to become a professional storyteller. That was interesting, right? And so I think about that. And I think about LaWanna, again, going back to you saying man's medicine will never keep up with God's miracles. And one of God's miracles is the natural ability to be able to laugh. And I learned how to laugh. I mean, at first it's simulated laughter, and it's really the craziest thing in the world. But I literally spent 5 days in Chicago with Dr. Kataria, the founder of Laughter Yoga. And we had no choice but to laugh for 5 days. Can you imagine? McGillicuddy, laughing for 5 days. That's how you had to resolve challenges, right? Oh my goodness. It was wonderful. Wonderful. So all of this investment, all of this brought me to, because God kept on saying, keep going. You're going to figure out what your purpose is. What your purpose is helping others get through it, knowing because you had to go through it. See, it's simple to go and to find out I guess it's simple. I don't know. The psychology of the brain and all of this and the meds that we're put on, right? My strength is working through it without the meds, to accepting the facts of the facts, right? So then life, takes us through all of these things, and God takes us through all the journeys. And just when we're getting comfortable, right, he decides to go ahead and shake the cherry tree, doesn't he? Yes, he does. He decides, what you doing over there? You're getting a little bit too comfortable. Let me just shake your cherry because I need for you to keep growing. That's what it's about. And if you look at life and you realize that it's all about growth, right? I'm 65 years old. I'm 65 years old. Domestic violence survivor, breast cancer survivor. What was the purpose of the breast cancer? I wrote a book called Squeeze My Tatas. You're only 1 minute am away from knowing. And behind that book is a positive workbook to help you have that mindset that, LaWanna, you're right. God's miracle, our laughter, our own laughter. And first, it's simulated. So I want to just stop for a second, and I want us all to just laugh. And I know it's simulated. I know it's going to feel really crazy and raw, but if you'll just keep going with me, I promise you will feel the vibration of what laughter does for you. So here we go. Ready? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my.
God.
Well, we're going to keep the laughter going on the side because we
There
only
you
have
go.
15 minutes.
Okay.
But what you're saying is so true. The Bible tells us laughter is medicine for the soul. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to just laugh at yourself just because, find something to tickle your funny bone. So thank you for that. And if anyone watching hasn't tried laughter yoga, it is quite an interesting experience. I didn't do it for 5 days though, Woobie. I don't know about that one. Dr. Michelle.
Voluntary at that point. I paid for it and I had to do it. To get abused like that, but it's a good one.
Well, Dr. Michelle, I want you to take it a little different path because we know you have Lift after breast cancer. But you also, I think this weekend you were speaking. I think the last weekend I saw you out in the streets. So what was that all about?
Yep. So there's a few projects that I've been a part of for Live After Breast Cancer. First of all, our vision statement is changing the standard of beauty. So I felt this was so much in alignment because a lot of times, unfortunately, we go through these body altering experiences and even mind shifting experiences. Because just like if you read Psycho-Cybernetics, it's not always about what the exterior is. It really starts from the mind and what we believe, our belief systems. And as a licensed mental health therapist, using cognitive behavioral therapy has really given me a different perspective on how to help people with their mindset and mind over matter, if you will. So with Lift After Breast Cancer, I've been able to partner with different organizations. One of them is Susan G. Komen. So back in September, we had our Race for the Cure. And so I'm on the board with Susan G. Komen in the Detroit region. And so being able to share a little bit of my story and also what Susan G. Komen and really the early testing is so important for better outcomes. And for Lift After Breast Cancer, it's almost like a good bookend because it's like, okay, now since I've rung the bell, what next? Because most of the times people feel that once you ring the bell and you look fine on the exterior, that you are fine. And I found that it was quite the opposite. And so being able to share my story, share about Susan G. Komen, as well as I've also been a portrait of hope with American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. So I was able to share my story on different platforms, as well as at the walk. This was in 2024, but I also attended 2025 this year as well. So being able to speak there, I was invited to galas, and my daughter says, "It's not gala, Mom, it's gala." So, I've been invited to galas and different organizations and companies. I know, right? I was able to present my story and share my story with the National Congress of Black Women in Oakland County. So there's multiple different facets where I've been able to share my story, whether it be on podcasts, on TV, at different local organizations, virtually. So being able to share is so important because what happened to me, and I really, appreciate Woobie you sharing a story about laughter therapy. It's so important. They say laughter is therapeutic, right? And I know God has a sense of humor because not only have I survived breast cancer, but prior to breast cancer, stage 2 breast cancer is what I had, invasive ductal carcinoma. I had 2 strokes 2 days apart. And it actually was on October 18th and 20th of 2014. And I wasn't able to walk, talk, or use my whole right side. So I know the miracle and the magic of the Lord. And then fast forward, stage 2 breast cancer, fast forward, mini stroke, fast forward, COVID. And in that period, there was a period where I had to, because in that moment, I wasn't able to run anymore. We're doers. High performers were always on the go and making things happen. But when that, I call it the snatch surgery, when that happened back in March of 2023, then I wasn't able to run anymore. I had to just really sit in silence and just be. But it was in that being that God inspired me. And I was able to listen and take away all the noise. And with that, learn that it was my passion and my purpose to be able to share not just the other stories of overcoming, because unfortunately, pink and purple is in my life as well. People know purple for domestic violence, and I have that history as well. But so not just sharing that. So I share that. I also share about the strokes because it's important for people to make sure. I had a spontaneous dissection in my left carotid artery in my neck. It just spontaneously dissected. And so, but making people aware that, and that was at age 38. I was diagnosed again with breast cancer at 39. So being able to share my story, share my voice as a professional woman, as an executive woman, because it's so important that there's an outlet for folks who are usually the people that folks go to. People come to us for all kinds of things to help make their world better. I just heard a saying from my mom that says, my life was not created to make yours better, right? No, meaning to solve your problems. But I love the fact that we are able to solve this particular problem in providing an atmosphere, providing a community where women literally can let their hair down or take their hair off, whichever they choose to do, and be themselves and get the supports that they need. I'm so serious, get the support that they need that they normally wouldn't be able to have, because we always have to wear this mask. We always have to wear this, I'm good, I'm fine. I actually wrote a couple of, I've published over 300 articles on LinkedIn and been a part of multiple best-selling anthologies, including one that actually dropped today, The Silent Struggle. And the young lady who is the inspiration for it, she started, and unfortunately, she passed away. So the book is about domestic violence, but she passed away before, we could see it to fruition. I never got a chance to meet her, but the bottom line is that it's so, so important for us to be able to go out to share our story, so that way we can save someone else. So we can, let me take it back one step. When we're in the thick of it, it can seem so hard. So I don't know who's out there right now and you're in the thick of it. But when you're in the thick of it, your job is to learn the lesson. So that way, when you get out on the other side, you heard me say when, not if, when you get out on the other side, now you can learn the lesson and you can reach back and become a blessing. And that's what we've been able to do with Lift After Breast Cancer. So that way we can help ladies to answer the question, what's next? So they can lead boldly in the boardroom and feel beautiful in their own skin.
Perfect. And then LaWanna, if you don't mind, I'm just going to share mine, and then we're about at the end of the show right now, guys. And so mine, Stephen Smith, again, thank you for allowing us to be on your show today, is a big supporter of the organization that I started and that we have also been sharing on the docuseries. So we're going to now share about that, and then we're going to encourage all of you to come back to e360tv.com on Monday. Watch the live presentation at what time again, LaWanna?
6 p.m. Eastern.
There you go, 6 p.m. Eastern. And then go, if you haven't seen the first episode, do a back-to-back. Watch the first one and support, learn, take notes, watch this again, get involved with the buddies too. And thank you, Stephen, once again. We're going to say goodbye here after we share this message. Then we will be ending the show. Be back on Monday. Stephen will have his show back once again. Thank you for your time.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
Share this with your friends and family and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.